Hello YouTube, this is William. I want to show you guys a little bit about and talk about the little Master Companion, the one that's now a production model that you can order off of my website, wcknives.com. And there'll be a link to the Shop Knives webpage in the description below. I just want to let you guys know that it is now available for order. Now the wait time for all knives is about 10 months is what I'm saying. I'm starting to catch up on some things, so it may be decreased, but I'm not willing to say that yet. So expect it in at least, or as the most, let's just say 10 months, okay? So anyway, so now let's get into the specs of it, why the design is what it is, and all that other good stuff. But the Master Companion. Of course, the wind would blow where my smoke would be right in my face. But anyway, let the fire catch up there a minute. It's a little cool this morning. A little breezy. But I thought maybe I'd talk about this Master Companion. When I developed this knife, it was a skeleton knife. And what I had in mind was exactly what the name says, Companion. I developed it for a neck knife. I patterned it the same size as the slick because the slick was, in my opinion, was the perfect size for a pocket carry, a neck knife, something just slip in your pack. The slick, and I'll put a link to the slick video at the end of this one. Just kind of give you an idea if you're not familiar with the slick, which the slick has been a very, very popular model. It has more of a belly. It's a drop point, whereas this is a very fine point for, and the reason I wanted to point different for this was because of crafts, things like that. I wanted a point that would get into those very tight spots, like so. If I can get to where you can see it, and get in there and do that intricate carving, get over here, like so, and get in those very tight spots. I didn't carve this with this knife, but it would actually do a better job than the knife I was using when I carved this not long ago. But anyway, get in there and do that intricate craft work, cutting leather, where you wanted a fine point. The other thing is, I mean, it has the Scandy, which you saw me do the little feathers on that, the fat wood, and 90-degree spine where you can do the fluff and stuff to get your ferro rod to strike. So it's a great little companion knife, against Master Companion. I just think it's a great shape. It's kind of like a seahorse whittler, if you will, where it has that fine point for camp crafts, firecraft. It has the Scandy portion there. I mean, I wouldn't be batoning or anything like that with this knife, but unless you just use your hand, which is perfectly normal with this. Cutting leather and stuff like that, it's just a breathe, which I don't know how many people out there cut leather, but leather kind of gives you an idea of pinch points and things. And I just love the way it just gets in there, all of those little nooks and crannies. Ripping open those boxes, has that little hook there, ripping open those packages, and it's just a great little knife. And Randy has a pocket sheath. Just a second, took me a little bit to find one. This one's for the mini, but he also has one for the slick, and he also has one that'll fit this as well. The one with the slick will fit this one the same way. So it just fits down in your pocket and clips on your pocket with that clip. So it's a great little pocket carry. And anyway, it's just a different option from the slick for those who want a very fine, sharp point, a needle-like point. Now, one thing about it, when you get in those tight spots, you have to use some skill to get that material out. You can't just go in there and pry on it because it is a very fine point. But if you just kind of work on it a little bit, cut those fibers, then it'll get in there and get that material out very easily. It's just you have to slow down. And that's one thing that I like about whittling, is it forces you to slow down to actually think about what you're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to hurt yourself. So I certainly don't want that. But it causes you to think a little bit. And if you got something else on your mind, it's not a good thing. You have to concentrate on that. So it clears the mind of other things. And I just think that whittling is a very therapeutic hobby. And this is just a standard ball and cage with the old piece of pine. So it was not the best whittling in the world, but it served its purpose. It got my mind off of other things and let it rest a little bit. And that's where I think that whittling has gone by the wayside. Is people are too occupied with other things, electronics and all this other stuff, where used to, you remember Grandpa sitting out on the porch and just whittling on a stick? I think we need to get back to a lot of that. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. But there you have it. I mean, it's got the same length and I'll give you some measurements right here. Let me get my little pouch out. A little pocket pouch that I have carried every day for years. This little pouch right here comes in handy more often than not. If you hadn't seen what's in this little pouch, you need to check it out. I also added a little titanium ruler because I'm always looking for a ruler. So kind of give you some measurements here. Cutting edge is the same as the slick. It's about 3 1/4 overall. The saber portion to the tooth is about 2 1/4, give or take a 1/16 or so. And the actual curved tooth is about 1 inch. The overall is 6 3/4. The handle is, the micarta handle is about 3 1/2, a little less than 3 1/2, maybe 3 3/8. The thickness on this is just 2 1/8 scales. And it's just enough to protect your hand, but not making it too thick to where it can't slip in your pocket or carry it as a comfortable neck knife under your shirt or whatever. It's wow, is that 3/8 maybe? 3/8, probably around 3/8 because it's 1/8 inch steel. These are 1/8 inch AEBL steel. And it'll just come with either black, brown, or green canvas micarta, which the brown is also called natural. So, but you can order these. I've turned that thing off and turned it off, and it still turns itself back on. So anyway, a width of the blade right at the tooth is about 1 inch. So let's kind of give you some dimensions on that. Put that back in my little pouch. And you get these little pouches, this Feed the Bears, this Cordura fabric. The one I showed in the video was black, but it's the same brand. This one's a little bit taller. So I went to this one. It's by Rough Enough Inc. in New York off of Amazon. Just do a search on Amazon. Feed the Bears, Rough Enough Inc. I mean, this little pouch goes with me everywhere, and it is just stuffed with all kinds of stuff. like so. It just fits in my cargo pocket of my pants, and I never leave the house without it. Whether I'm in the shop or if I go to town or whatever I do, I always have this little pouch with me because it has got medicine in it. It's got everything you can imagine is in there. See, we got a little survival kit in there. But yeah, I just stick it in my cargo pocket. Even have a Band-Aid or two in there. But anyway, back to the knife. You can order these off of my website. They will not come with that WC that's lasered in there. That was just me playing on the laser. But you'll see it. You can see pictures of it. It will come with a Kydex sleeve option. And this one here is just, it's tied to the Wazoo Spark, I think it's called. Got a little sharpener there, ferro rod. But yeah, it makes a great little kit knife or a companion knife. Imagine that, companion knife. You just tuck it under your shirt and nobody knows you've got it. So depending on your state laws and things like that and local rules and regulations, that may be an option for you. But anyway, it was just a alternative to the Slick. The Slick was more for small game prep, whereas this one, which it really, if you look at the blade shape, it's got that triangle shape for running up legs and things like that, that a lot of the trappers use that first cut knife. If you don't know what that is, it's almost a triangle to do those first cuts on those pelts. So that that shape of that blade is pretty close to that. So anyway, you could skin small game with it as well. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate one bit skinning a squirrel with it. But there you have it. There has been a lot of people asked to do the Master Companion, which came out as a skeleton knife, to put scales on it. So I did that, and I thought maybe I would do a video just sharing my thoughts on it. And build a fire. Build a fire. Gotta have a fire. Another thing I want to clarify is it's already been asked, those who bought the skeleton version of this Master Companion, sorry, but no, you can't ship the knife to me and me put a scale on it. I can't go back and redo every knife that I've made. There's been thousands of them. So that knife was designed and set up just for a skeleton knife. The pins won't line up. The pins won't work at all. Trying to put scales on it like these. Matter of fact, the logos won't work, or you can't do it. So best thing I say, if you don't want the skeleton knife, which I had a couple of videos explaining how to do cord wraps and things like that and other options for handles for those knives. If none of that works for you, then I'm sure that you could probably sell that on a forum, or even go to the WC Knives group on Facebook, and I'm sure somebody will be willing to take that off of your hands. Since they're not going to be made anymore, they're done. They'll never be offered again. So you got a unicorn in a way. But anyway, if you want to get rid of it and sell it and order one of these, then that's an option. Okay. Sorry, wish I could go back and redo every knife that's out there, but I can't do it, so I don't start with any slippery slope like that. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry shaking you guys and everything, but I'm not really set up to do videos and stuff like that. So what you see is kind of what it is. It's not a big editing thing. I mean, it's just me and you talking. That's about what it is. So I'm just not a big, huge YouTube photographic, cinema photography kind of guy. I'm just, what you see is what you get. Good, bad, wrong, whatever. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. You guys are just fantabulous. I couldn't do this without you. And thank you so much. For the 13 years, we went on 13 years. It's just unbelievable doing this full time. As a It's the whole job, really. Just making knives. Get in the backyard, build it on a stick, build you a fire, enjoy this cool weather, and we'll catch you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.